I'm going. Amazing. All these women. Welcome, Simona Mango. Welcome, everyone. This is the episode 34 of the Women's Empowerment Series. Women Empowerment Series are series that are organized to empower women, to inspire them from around the world. We invite amazing leaders and guests and women leaders like you who are making a difference and who are doing extremely impactful and important work to help women and to help others, not just women, power up and also make a difference. So welcome, my dear Simona.
Thank you so much, and wonderful to be here. Thank
Such
you.
an honor to have you there. And we're not very far from each other, which is nice.
No,
We still have the sun behind us.
we're in the same time zone.
Yes, you're connecting from Spain. So tell us about you. I mean, whoever is joining us for the first time, let us know where you're connecting from, and we would love to meet you and to greet you. And please, Simona Mango, tell us about you. What do you work on? You're living in Spain, and you are a spiritual life coach. So tell me.
Yes, I live in the south of Spain, which is a wonderful place, a wonderful spot on the planet. I find best climate in Europe.
Close to Morocco, so we are kind of we have the same climate. It's the
Yes, very
Mediterranean.
similar. We're very, very close. We could swim across.
Yeah,
And
that's yeah.
yeah. And I've been living here for 7 years now. Very happy to live here. Um, yeah, so I work basically worldwide, as many of us do nowadays. Everything is online, which is wonderful because obviously you get to connect with amazing people. Like imagine 20 years ago thinking that we would have this kind of conversation across continents, if you will.
Well, 20 years ago, maybe what you would have been needing to come here, or I'll go to see you because
Exactly.
it was not the way to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, incredible. That's so true.
Yeah, the reach we have today and the way we can interact. And I think this is amazing because it's speeding up, all the positive things that are sprouting everywhere on the planet will find so many counterparts everywhere else on the planet. That's why we're gaining so much momentum. Things are going so fast.
That's true. The digital era has, changed things tremendously.
For good and for bad, but I like to focus on the good and the wanted and the positive things, and give them strength with my attention, with my participation, with everything I do. We do strengthen things when we give them our attention.
Of course.
So-called good things and so-called bad things, say wanted and unwanted things.
Very nice. Now you're stepping into the very important part, which is when it's your mind, right? Yeah.
It's whatever you give your attention to, you are giving energy to, you are sending energy to, you are making it grow. So careful who and what you're giving your energy to. Don't give it to unwanted things.
So if you're listening to us, this is such a beautiful and a big advice that Simona is starting with, which is, you don't focus on the negative things you don't want to see happening in your life at all.
No. And it's not, people say, well, you're acting like an ostrich, you're putting your head under the sand and you don't want to see it. Like this is negative, you should see it. Not really, not necessarily. The more you see it and you talk about it, the more you are nourishing it.
Wow. But you know what you're saying here? Because, isn't that the base of psychiatrists and psychologists? And, you go to therapy to keep on talking about things you don't want to see in your life no more. And actually what you do is you kind of deepen your energy in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
And there is such a big awareness today around that because, when you dwell on things that happen to you or things that are negative, you tend to really anchor them more.
It's simply that you are broadcasting a certain frequency out there. And things that match that frequency will have to respond to that and will have to enter your experience. So if you're broadcasting gloomy, you will experience gloomy. If you're broadcasting,
Happy.
happy, you will experience that kind of things.
Yeah, this is really nice, and it's energetics. But
Yeah,
sometimes it gets tough. How do you help? What do you do to help to help people switch? I think a lot of time it's easy to say than to do it.
I know it is because yeah, it is because
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's what we struggle with. Everyone, really.
And
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is that our brains are hardwired to go to the negative. Why? Because the simple part of our brains, the the reptilian brain, thinks
Mhm.
that okay, everything is danger. Let me see. Let me watch it very closely so I can move when it moves.
Yeah,
And
so they can avoid the danger.
first of all, and then
Yeah.
let's focus on the bad experiences so we recognize them and we're able to avoid them later. That's how
Mm.
it thinks. But this actually really defeats its purpose. It's not keeping that stuff at bay, it's actually conjuring it up. It's calling more of it into your experience, which is
Yeah, I
really
can
not.
see your guests coming to join
Oh,
us.
hello, Miss Nina.
Hello, Nina. Incredible. Yeah. Mm, mm,
So that's the thing. The hard part is just abandoning the default negative. Think back to what was bad, to what they said, to how you felt, to how it hurts, to all of that, what
mm.
our brains do. And it gets, you have to get to that little bit of awareness where you're monitoring how you're feeling and you say, oh, wait a minute, no, no, no. And adjust your gaze, your attention, where you're giving your awareness to a little bit more towards something that you like better. That would be a bit
Mm.
more positive. That feels a bit better. That is a bit nicer. I prefer that. And it can be a small shift. The moment you get in the habit of shifting a little bit out when things feel bad, you're on the good path. And then you
Yeah,
can
and
learn to
that
do.
means you raise your awareness. So you really have to be continuously aware of the thoughts that you have in your head.
That's the best thing you can do if you can like observe your thoughts
Yes.
and understand that, not identify with them, not
Mm.
identify uh, with that part of your mind, but just observe it and say, oh, it's doing that again. Okay, all right. It's the 7 millionth time it's doing that. Okay, I can see you, I can hear you. Thanks for that. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm looking away. I'm not interested anymore.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a
Great.
process. Really, yeah.
I agree. I agree. And what's hard is to be able to be aware of your thoughts. That's what's hard because when you get overwhelmed with the problems and the struggles,
Yeah.
it's almost you don't see anything. It's like
You're
blind.
you're drowning in it that exactly, and you think it's you, and you think I'm feeling bad. No, it's a part of your brain, and you can really take a little step back and look at it and say, oh, that one again. Okay,
Mm.
all right.
We have a nice comment from Florence. Florence, so good to see you with us. I think you should not confuse situations that are linked to medical mental conditions with positive energetic thinking and practices. Absolutely well said. And also, shifting the positive may not be possible before clearing some past conditioning. Yeah, you know.
Oh, yes,
What would you
absolutely.
like to
It's all
respond?
about clearing your
Yes,
past conditioning.
Florence,
That's
appreciate
what it's
your feedback.
all. Yes, absolutely. I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
That's absolutely what it's all about.
Mm.
Clearing it, and it will keep coming up, and you don't have to succumb to it anymore.
Mm.
It will
Yeah.
still, it will poke its head through and look at you. And when you understand you are not that, this is housed somewhere within you, but you are not that.
Yeah. And
That's
I think what also I will add to this comment is that, whatever is related to the medical mental conditions, and then when it comes to the chemistry inside your brain, that's a completely clinical and different story. So we are absolutely not talking about that. I mean, these are conditions that needs medical attention, and that's different thing. But I think what we are really talking about are just normal people that have a balanced chemicals in the brain and hormones, and we get used to being programmed into thinking, worrying about things, and no one teaches us that more you worry about things, more you think about them, more you try to solve a problem by overthinking it, more you will actually dwell into the negativity of the problem. Agree. Yes. Thank
right.
you, Florence.
Yeah, you
Mm,
have it. Yeah, that's right.
mm. And so it's really it's more the shifting. I want to also touch on something super important. I think that's what connected us is, I spent many years in sustainable development, and in your work, you are very, very much aligned with that. And I love your approach. And so, you, as a co-founder of Keepers of Mother Earth, can you tell us more about what do you do? How do you link nature to this well-being, to the personal development, to the spiritual approach of your business?
Yeah, so there's five of us. We're five coaches. We come from different backgrounds, different countries, different cultures. Uh, we have one thing in common, and that is the absolute awareness of the fact that when, as a person, as a human being, you feel connected to your own soul, you are not too detached, not too pinched off from it, and you can listen to your heart's voice, and you're not too deafened by the noise in your head and the noise in society and the media and the news and everything. It's noise, noise, noise. When you make it to a point where you can be with yourself, really, you will automatically, it can't be different, you will automatically feel your connection with nature as well. Because as a
Mm.
human being, we are part of nature. And we tend to overlook that. We tend to not really feel it because we're kind of walking around in it, destroying it rather, and treating it like it's unimportant. But we are part of it. We are basically hurting ourselves when we hurt nature. And so, with Keepers of Mother Earth, what we have, our aim, say, is to spread awareness of how, as human beings, we are part of nature,
Yeah.
and we do it, say, from the inside through heightened connection with our own souls. A
Mm.
lovely, wonderful byproduct of that is heightened connection with nature. And
Wow.
so it's
Mhm.
a way of going about, protecting our environment that
Yes.
comes from, we're protecting ourselves. This way, we are improving our life because we're improving
Sure.
where we live and where we come from. That's a,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. The sustainability is also with the vision of the next generation and the future.
Oh yeah.
How do you bring that into having a person caring about what they leave behind also?
Um, for people who have children, it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's like, would you really want your children to live in a completely poisoned environment?
Never,
Um,
never.
Never.
We always want the best for our children. So right.
Yes. And if you don't have children, you'll have nephews, or you'll have your best mate's kids, or something, someone you will care about. And if you say, I don't care about anyone, I just care about myself, I say, okay, are you aware of the fact that you're coming back anyway? You're coming
So
back.
you go into another dimension. That's interesting.
You're coming back. So what do you want to come back to? There's no
Ah,
escape. We'll always be here. We have to look after
interesting.
this. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting because, from the sustainability point of view, when you talk about the planet, you talk about the impact. It's three-dimensional. So you create growth, you create economic profit, revenue,
Yeah.
which is good because you stimulate the economy. Then you look at the impact, the social impact. And then on the bottom, it's the environments. How do you protect the environments? And even when you look at the self development and, helping women and men you work with, it has, how do you represent that as you integrate nature? Is it in their caring about themselves as a person and, connecting with themselves? Do you bring awareness, as in terms of vibration of nature? How do you link that
We
with the
do, we do.
prophet and that? I'm curious to see that.
Yeah. We do plenty of that. We have, um, uh, talks, and also kind of activities you can do and stuff that takes you out into nature and like work with it. But this is very from the out. I mean, nature will always inspire you, but this is always going from the outside way. Okay, let's
Yes.
move into nature. I'll sit in the car and I'll drive to the woods. Okay, you can do that,
And
right?
I'll go walk in the
And
forest.
then
I'll go
go
walk by
walking,
the water. True.
which
Yeah.
is always the best thing you can do, because our bodies just thrive when they're out in nature. But
Our body just cry, you said?
thrive.
Thrive.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
When they're in
That's
nature, just how your mind calms down, how you feel,
true.
you just breathe better. It's just
You breathe better. You feel the abundance of everything.
that's right.
Everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we obviously we encourage lots of that also, but the
Yeah.
main thing is that if you do some call it self-development, self-empowerment,
Mhm.
self-discovery, you can call it many things, but when you get back to that stillness, to
Yeah.
being able to hear yourself, which I
Mhm.
say is hearing your soul, is hearing the voice of your soul. So you have the voice of your mind, who's always very deafening, is always chattering, is Ian. And then you have the voice of your soul. And if you manage to get your mind a little bit quieter so that you can listen to your soul,
I love that.
your soul it lives out in nature. Your soul does not live in noise. It does not live in contrast. It does not live in
No.
strife and none of that. Your
Mm-mm.
soul lives in love and basically love. It's all it cares about. Your soul doesn't care
And
about
love,
anything but love.
yeah. So and love, you're related to nature. So you connect the love, just abundance of love with the nature.
Uh, Absolutely. I mean, our abundance comes from nature. Nature is intrinsically endlessly abundant.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we are too, as human beings, we are just part of that. We are, unless we do crazy things not to be, but naturally, the way we are set up, we are part of that. And we are actually
Yeah.
intrinsically abundant.
Mhm.
And nature is resilient. Nature restores itself. And,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
human
Well
beings can
said.
restore themselves.
Restore.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and
I
human
love
beings
that.
can restore their health,
Yeah.
physical health, mental
Yeah.
health from
Mm.
within. They tell us that we can't, and there's a lot of, but we
That's the
can.
healing power. The
Yes,
healing power is
yes.
inside.
Nature heals itself. You are nature. Why would you be the only part of nature who can't heal itself? No way. Of course you can.
Mm.
Of course you can.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can mirror whatever you see and notice from nature and feel it happening inside you. It's like
Yeah.
you calibrate to what's happening in
Absolutely.
nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you calibrate from an energetic vibration, love, abundance, everything that is thriving.
Absolutely. And love and abundance are vibrations anyway. Like everything else in
Of
the
course.
universe, there's
Of course.
energy is all there is.
Mm.
It takes different shapes and forms. Sometimes it looks like matter. Sometimes it looks like, I don't know, electricity, sound, color, light, uh, whatever. It takes so many shapes.
Yeah.
Your
Mm.
thoughts, that's an energy. Your emotions, energy.
Mm.
Uh, Whatever. What an engine produces, it's all energy.
I want to recognize some of the ladies. Hello, Cynthia. Good to see you. Connecting from Florida. Florence is mentioning biomimicry. What will that be? Can you tell me more about it? She said, Saida, it's good to see you. All those ladies that are enjoying the conversation. It's amazing how we can, when we bring everything about empowerment and self to actually nature and sustainability and development, because we are so connected, and that's the space where we connect with each other. It's really through nature.
Oh yes, and there's absolutely, and there's another dimension too,
Mm,
because if you think that we are part of nature, as in even our bodies are part of nature, the stuff we're made of, the stuff our
mm,
bodies are made of, and our brain is made of, and our brain is what causes us to think and all of that. That's the same building blocks of all the rest of nature out there. Okay,
mm,
but
mm,
the even greater part of this is that our souls, what I call our souls, you can call it your higher self, you can call it your spirit, you can call it, people call it many different things, but the part of you that is the subtle and the immortal part of you is connected and is part, like a drop of the ocean, of the energy and the infinite knowledge and wisdom of the universe. Call it God, call it
mm.
spirit, source. People call it many different things.
Infinite intelligence, universe,
Infinite
Mother Nature.
intelligence,
Yeah.
yes,
Mm,
universal intelligence. And so, if you think that our bodies are part of that, and our spirit, our soul, is part of, the call it, I don't know, it's a divine spark, or I don't know what you want to call it.
mhm,
But
mhm.
so what is there, what's more empowering? If you're as a human being, think, I am all of that.
Yeah.
What is more empowering? Not a lot. If you're part of God,
Of the
call it.
biggest everything. Yeah.
You're part of all there is. You're
Yeah.
part of the biggest soul, the
Expression of
expression
whatever.
of,
Yeah, that's the highest power. But then you need to remember that when you get overwhelmed with things.
yes,
And
yeah,
that's what we started with. It's like when you get overwhelmed
yeah,
with problems,
yeah,
and you get overwhelmed with events and circumstances that are not helping you, a job you lost, a friend you lost, a company you closed, or anything.
yeah.
So bring, it's almost you need to come back and to like restore everything that's
And what's
created.
the best way of doing that?
Yeah, what's the best way?
The best way is to, like before, when we said, you take a step back and you look at your thoughts, your emotions, you look at what's going on in your head. The way you react to all of these things is nothing than more thoughts and more emotions.
Mm,
So it's your brain reacting to things.
mm,
And if you say, okay, this is how my brain views it, and then if you can see, okay, how does my soul view it?
mm.
They will just tell you the same story in completely different ways. You
Yeah.
lost your job, your brain will go, oh my God, terrible, I lost my job. And your soul will be, oh, at last. Oh, that's so good. Maybe.
I have space
So
now.
there's many situations like that where your brain is telling you that something is like really bad, and your soul is, wait a minute, wait a sec, digest it first. We'll talk about it later. And then
Yeah.
you'll come to understand that it was actually a blessing.
Yeah, of course. Well, there is always a blessing in disguise if you
Yes.
don't see it, always.
Yes.
And I think, but it takes a lot of wisdom to see it and to be able to be aware that there is an energy behind it, changing your path to something better. Takes a
Yes. So
lot.
this, you have to first of all hear it for the first time, because most of us, we know that when we're small, but then we forget it because they kind of knock it out of us. We
Mm.
don't know it anymore. We get totally
Yeah.
disconnected. So if you're one of like 99.9% of human beings on the planet, when you're an adult or even young, when not a kid anymore, you've forgotten that. So
That's true.
you are in the grip of your mind.
Mm.
But so you have to hear that first. Then you have to also believe it. You have to be open to the idea, to the possibility that you are not just only your body and your mind. There's
Mm.
more. If you can't accept that, okay, fine, but you'll have a tough life. If you can
Mhm.
accept that and you will find proof of it, you don't have to take anyone's word for it. I mean, go
Yeah.
and experiment for yourself. You'll get proof of that. But uh, you get in the habit of taking that little step back.
Mhm.
And when you take that little step back, you are kind of in between. You can observe them. On one side, you have it's all in the mirror. Well, on my left, this is my
Yes.
left hand. So
Turn
on
your
your left, say, I see it on my left, I have the mind. And on my right, I have the soul.
Mm.
And every time you take a step back, you see who's running the show. Is it the mind or is it the soul? And how do you know? By your emotions.
Mm.
Anything that feels bad, the mind is running the show. Anything that feels great, the soul is running the show.
Yes,
How you know?
beautiful.
That's how you
This
know.
is so good. And you want to let your soul run it because intuition will guide you.
Yes, intuition will come through, and also
Always.
you'll be a lot happier.
And faith that there is more. Well said, Cynthia. And what Florence said, you usually find evidence of what you believe. Always, always find evidence.
100%,
Mm.
100%. Choose what you believe carefully, what you
Mhm.
want to believe, or
Yeah.
what you are prepared to believe.
So I have a one last question for you because you are an opera singer before and for many years, right? A
Yeah.
big, and so I wanted to see how does that what is the impact of being able to elevate yourself because when you sing and you're connected with something so beautiful, how did that link you back to nature and to what you do today?
In many ways, in a couple of ways. I don't know how many, but it's got a few facets. So the first thing is that when you learn to sing, it's an incredible path of really self-development. If you come to a point where not only have you learned some amazing skills, singing is very physical, very emotional,
Yes.
very psychological, and then if you let it, there's a lot of soul in that as well. So
Nice. Okay.
it's an
Yeah.
all-round kind of
State
growth.
of state, yes.
Yeah. So you learn to do that, which is already amazing. Then when you sing and you perform, already physically the vibrations that you emit like that are so when you start to sing well, when it flows really well, they are
It's
wholesome.
nice to hear by others.
When it's nice to hear, exactly, you'll know when it's pleasant to hear, it
Here,
means that
yeah.
the vibrations are regular, that there's
Ah,
no nothing disturbs the shape of
the
the wave,
flow.
basically, yeah,
Yeah,
of the sound wave.
yeah,
And when you do that, this will improve your health. Singing improves your health hugely. And I'll tell you
incredible.
more.
Mhm.
Music, all good music, like when it's well played and harmonious, when there's real harmony in it, and your voice when you sing, improves your audience's health.
Wow,
It does,
incredible.
because those vibrations resonate uh, at a cellular level. Every
Incredible.
cell resonates with good, harmonious sound waves.
Yeah.
And basically, what it does, it strengthens your immune system.
I love that. So we should ask everyone to put opera, classical music all the time.
It doesn't have to be classical all the time. It can be anything
Like
that's,
what, jazz, what, soul?
yes, anything that exact soul, anything that sounds like really that uplifts you. If it
Mm.
goes like, hard music like that,
Yeah, it's like this hip hop stuff that we
anything.
don't even understand what they are. It's like, look at my kids. I'm like, I don't know what to listen to. I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. It's like one goes like this, one is like, oh my God. Wow.
But
Mm,
anything that sounds like the uplifting, anything that makes you dream, that makes you feel great, all
mm.
of that. It can be instrumental, it can be vocal music, it can be
I
any of
love
that.
that. You know,
Yeah.
it's what you're saying is music to my ears because I grew up playing piano while I've been, math and engineering and all that advanced.
Oh, that goes together so well.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
and in hindsight now, I think that's what had helped me to really reach higher level in education because I was taking care of that part of the soul, as you said, which
And
we don't know that
another
much.
thing, if you're an accomplished piano player, it means that the two hemispheres of your brain communicate very well, and that
Nice.
obviously will take you to a different level of, in your academics or whatever you're doing.
Wow.
Of course. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Accomplished piano playing has your brain wire like crazy. It's
Well, I
something else.
did play very, very hard pieces at the end.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Wow.
This
This
is
is
one
such, we
thing,
haven't.
this is one thing, and this is one of many things. And
Mm,
the last thing about singing and how it connects is obviously that teaching people to sing
yes.
is a form, apart from teaching them the skill, is an incredible form of life coaching.
Oh, nice.
It is.
So
So,
you have a fan asking you, Simon, who is your greatest influence in opera? Cynthia loves opera voices and she wants to.
oh God. My favorite voice.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell. Oh, I got so many that I absolutely adore. Everyone says Callis.
of
I
course.
like
Yeah.
Callis. I like her a lot, but not really the sound of her voice. I don't
Okay.
find it very
That's
pleasant. I
okay.
find it
Which
a
one are
bit
you like? Is it
hard,
Renee? What's her
but
name?
she's an amazing artist. So Callis is like, she changed opera forever. She made singers become great artists
Glamorous.
because they had to stand up to her. She
Yeah,
changed it.
yeah.
Everyone will be forever grateful for Callis. She was
Wow.
incredible. She was
Nice.
a goddess on stage. So yeah.
Mm.
But the voice, I think my favorite soprano voice of all times is Montserrat Caballé.
Wow. Okay. Very
She
nice.
and there's a young singer now who is, I mean, she's a dream. She's called Aida Garifulina. She's amazing. If you hear her sing, it's a dream. I
Beautiful.
don't think she's even 35 or not even 40. I don't know.
Really?
She's
Wow.
young. She's fantastic.
I
I've
love
never
that.
heard a voice like that. She's a dream.
Mm. Just talking about music and opera, it makes us dream. We love that. This is it's such a delightful moment to be able to, take time and to let yourself be guided by
And let yourself be moved by those vibrations.
moved. Yes.
It's those vibrations.
Ah,
They just, it's just the impact.
you are so beautiful, Simona, inside out, and I'm enjoying so
Oh,
much our conversation. We touch on so
yeah,
many
me
things,
too.
doing important things, impacting the world positively, contributing to sustainability, and improving everyone's life to feel better. And coming back to music, which is the beginning of it all, isn't it? The rhythm of everything.
Music is the beginning of it all.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm. It's
celestial harmony.
Thank you so much. This has been so nice. Thank you all for joining us. If you're watching us on replays, let us know. If you have any question for me or for Simona, don't hesitate. And it's always nice. Thank you for joining me, Simona. This has
Thank
been
you so much.
beautiful
Yeah,
conversation.
beautiful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye. Mhm.